Come the Fuzz.
Edgar Wright may be turning out to be my favorite director. I wasn't crazy about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, but still thoroughly enjoyed it. The World's End is my second favorite film of 2013 so far, just under The Hunt by Thomas Vinterberg, and Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are two of the best films I've ever seen. Looking through my list of favorite films, Stanley Kubrick, Ingmar Bergman, Ridley Scott, and the Wachowskis are the only other filmmakers with more than one film on the list. Hot Fuzz is a phenomenally good film. Simon Pegg stars as Nicholas Angel, an extremely dedicated London super cop who is unwillingly transferred to the quiet country village of Sandford. Chafing under the uneventful boredom and the incompetence of his colleagues, a chain of murders leads Nicholas to uncover a conspiracy beneath the village's cozy, complacent exterior. In the description of my Shaun of the Dead review, I praised the film as one of the best written films of at least the past 25 years, and Spoonie recently declared that Hot Fuzz has one of the best screenplays ever written. I stand by both statements. In Hot Fuzz, the plot is perfectly paced and structured, and hardly a single line or action feels redundant, awkward, or out of place. The film executes a masterful juggling act of tone, as it's a very absurd comedy with plenty of moments that maybe laugh out loud, but still maintains a serious murder mystery plot and absorbing main characters with engaging development. The acting from a huge cast of renowned British actors is uniformly excellent, especially from Timothy Dalton as a dashing villain, and the supporting characters are eccentric without being simplistic or one-dimensional. The humor is also incredibly well implemented, as most of the gags, such as the ketchup trick, Nicholas's peace lily, and the missing swan, are set up and actually factor meaningfully into the plot. The film is a clever satire of both cop action movies and dull country villages and their obsession with comfort and image, and goes delightfully bonkers in an awesome climax. Nicholas Angel is a deep, complex hero, and he and his partner Danny, played by Nick Frost, play off each other incredibly well. Nicholas is an interesting counterpoint to Shaun, a listless guy stuck in a rut until the zombie outbreak in Shaun of the Dead, and Gary King, an alcoholic, irresponsible man-child in The World's End. Nicholas is an extraordinarily dedicated police officer who has been committed to upholding the law ever since he was a child. His performance in the Metropolitan Service was so good that he was basically transferred because he was making his colleagues look bad. In Sandford, Nicholas's strict adherence to procedure clashes with his more relaxed, easygoing new colleagues, many of whom mock him for it, and while at first he seems like a bit of a hard-ass, you admire him for his tireless commitment and really feel for him as he slowly goes stir-crazy in this uneventful town. It almost seems like the town broke him, but the film spends only a brief time with Shaun in a state of self-pity, and the audience pitying him in response, before he finds a new lead in his investigation, and the plot surges back into action. Nick Frost's character, PC Danny Butterman, who is the son of Police Inspector Frank Butterman, Jim Broadbent, is similar to his character Ed in Shaun of the Dead, though not as brash, but very different from the sensible businessman Andy Knightley, Frost's character in The World's End. Danny is lazy, naive, and a little dim, but he's sweet-natured and well-meaning, and looks up to Nicholas as his hero. Nicholas's accomplishments in the force and his vigor in looking into the murders causes Danny to take his job more seriously, and it's very nice to see Danny and the stern Nicholas finally bond as friends, especially since Pegg and Frost are best friends in real life. Hot Fuzz balances tone perfectly, but also does an excellent job of having plot and character go hand in hand. Danny's arc has him become a better, more focused police officer, and Nicholas's arc has him soften as a person, but also, assisted by Danny and inspired by the schlocky action movies they watched together, solve the murders and stop the conspiracy behind Sandford. I really can't praise Hot Fuzz enough. As for whether it's better than Shaun of the Dead, I'm not sure. Shaun of the Dead's conclusion is just a bit tighter and more streamlined, but Hot Fuzz has great action. But that's not really a fair comparison, as Shaun of the Dead isn't an action movie. For the slightly better ending, I think I would put Shaun of the Dead just slightly above Hot Fuzz, but they're still incredible films. Both of them, and also The World's End, are hilarious, ridiculously fun, exciting, and astonishingly well-written and directed films with outstanding characters. Hot Fuzz earns 5 stars out of 5, and I am retroactively upgrading Shaun of the Dead to 5 as well. Thanks for watching. Cheers.